And so you believe in God, but the challenge is you don't believe in the version of you that God created. And what I need you to do today moving forward, I need you to understand, even with the stuff that go wrong, that's still the best version of you that God can create. Even though things don't always work out the way you want it to work out, God did not make a mistake. And even though other people can't necessarily feel it, when God made you, he stepped back and said, that's good.
There's a big problem here. The problem is, it's true. You're oppressed, you're oppressed, you're oppressed, you're oppressed. God only knows why. Maybe you're too short, or you're not as beautiful as you could be, or your grandparent was a serf, likely, because almost everybody's great-grandparent was. It's like, and you're not as smart as you could be, and you have a sick relative, and you have your own physical problems, and it's like, frankly, you're a mess. And you're oppressed in every possible way, including your ancestry and your biology, and the entire sum of human history has conspired to produce victimized you with all your individual pathological problems. It's like, yes, true. Okay, but the problem is that it is true. And so if you take the oppressed, you have to fractionate them and fractionate them. It's like, you're a woman. Yeah, okay, well, I'm a black woman. Well, I'm a black woman who has 2 children. Well, I'm a black woman who has 2 children, and one of them isn't very healthy. And then, well, I'm a Hispanic woman, and I have a genius son who doesn't have any money so that he can't go to university. And, I had a hell of a time getting across the border. It was really hard on me to get my citizenship. My husband is an alcoholic brute. It's like, well, yeah, that sucks too. And so, so let's fix all your oppression. And we'll take every single thing into account, and then we'll fix yours too. We'll take every single thing into account. It's like, no, you won't, because you can't. You can't. It is technically impossible. First of all, you can't even list all the ways that you're oppressed. Second, how are you going to weight them? Third, who's going to decide? And that's the bloody thing. Who's going to decide? That's the thing.
We all have 24 hours. All right? What makes some of us average, makes some of us good, some of us great, is not the family you was born into. Right? It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with your socioeconomic status. It has everything to do with how you command your life. So if you have a bad day, which is no such thing of, it doesn't exist. You had a bad moment and you were so immature that you let that moment dictate the rest of your day, right? And y'all not kids no more. I don't do elementary school, right? I don't do elementary school because they really, a 5th grader, if I'm talking to a 3rd grader, 4th grader, 5th grader, kindergartner, I don't care what I tell them, they're not at a place of maturity where they can switch their mindset. They're kids, you grown. And some of you are grown, but you're still a child. And you brag about how you're an adult. You're only an adult because of your age. You're not an adult because you command your life. You're an adult because of your age. And that's not what makes adulthood. You're not an adult because you are 18 years old, you're 25, 26. If you still kept catching temper tantrums, you still getting attitudes, that means you're not an adult in that area. That means that particular area controls you, right? You almost got into a car accident over with. Car accident been over with 10 hours ago, you still pissed about it. Or you done got into it with your friend. That happened 2 days ago and y'all still not talking. That's immaturity, right? And let me tell you something. You don't know how many days you have. Like, I'm just gonna keep it 100. You don't know how many days you have left. You don't want to be wasting days. Like you're not God. Like you don't create. You can't wake yourself up. You don't know how many days you have left. You can't be playing with the days you have on foolishness. So you have to learn how to control yourself, right? And so y'all know my circumstances. I'm not here because I'm sweet. I'm here because one day I was like, yo, E, you need to get a control of this, bro. You need to get control of your life. You do not have control. You watching doggone TV playing video games when you should be out here grinding. So there are people all the day, people are ET. Bro, you do not want to be me. You're not ready for this grind, bro. You're too immature. You're not ready. I'm talking about I was flying from, I flew from Detroit to Milwaukee, Milwaukee to Atlanta, Atlanta to San Diego back to Milwaukee. Like the grind was real, right? Matter of fact, when I was in Milwaukee, it was funny because I've been on the road so much this last week. Matter of fact, when I was in Milwaukee, I did 5 gigs in one day. I did 5 speaking engagements in one day. So when I got to Milwaukee, my man was like, yo, you look tired. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. No, my man was like, bro, you look tired. I was like, okay, I'm about to show you then. Because what he was saying was he was looking at my body and he saw the different time zones. He saw the fatigue on my body. Like he could physically see it. He was like, yo, you tired? And I told my body, like, bruh, this 20 grand, bro. You ain't tired. Push through it. And I had to do 3 gigs in Milwaukee. 3 gigs in Milwaukee. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? So what I'm saying to you is you gotta be mature. And some of you are immature. Somebody just texted me a minute ago. It's like, yo, E, I always wanted to be the first one in my family to go to college. You know, I wanted to be whatever, you know. And so he was like, but I'm failing the class, you know, and I'm not doing as well as I thought I was gonna do. What do you think I should do? I said, what? Get help. What kind of question is that? So what, you shocked? Like you thought college was the Mickey Mouse Club? You thought it was high school? You thought it was middle school? It's real. So what do you mean that you should think by going to the next level it's going to be more of a challenge? Because it's another level.
It's not an accident that the axiomatic Western individual is someone who was unfairly nailed to a cross and tortured. It's like, yes, right, exactly. So what do you do about that? Well, I thought about that for a long time too. It's like, well, you don't get together in a damn mob, because all that does is allow you to be as horrible as you could possibly imagine and suffer from none of the consequences. That's a bad idea. So how about we don't do that? Well, there's a deep idea in the West too. It's like, pick up your damn suffering and bear it and try to be a good person so you don't make it worse.